only the first lesson revision, that is called tissue. The second lesson, that is diversity in living organism. As I said, one lesson is deleted for the midterm. The only two lessons, go through it, read each and every word from the textbook. So understand it, make your own questions related to that. So understand to solve. So in revision today, diversity in living organism. There is a term called biodiversity. What do you mean by biodiversity? The different organism species. Maybe it is plant or maybe it is an animal living together or in a specific area. So that is called diversity in living organism. It is called biodiversity. So according to this chapter, many topics are very important in old question papers. It is in the format of mark the following. So every year it is in old textbook also this lesson is there. That's why this lesson was there. So that is the reason. So it is in the multiple choice or maybe it is in a format of differentiate or math the following questions. But now it is not there math the following questions. So on that, based upon that, there are different questions in 1, 2, 3, 4 marks questions. In diversity in living organism, what you have to do is, so while studying, so first why that there is a classification, the word diversity in living organism. While classifying organism, which are the organisms? Why it is classified? Who classified it and how it is? And from that, which are the groups? For example, kingdom. So kingdom, Monera, Protista, fungi, plant and plantae and animalia. So all these kingdoms, how to study? For example, while studying on primitive organisms like Monera, Protista, fungi and plant. So there is a different organism you have to keep in your mind. Few examples you have to keep in mind, and according to that you have to study and you have to write some of the points. Then next comes plants, and in plants divisions are there, that is called Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophytes and Angiosperms and Gymnosperms. So these are the divisions. While studying also take a sheet of paper or make your book, classify all that together and write their specific special points. Next one, Animalia. So there are primitive organisms, animals. So without vertebrates, vertebrates means backbone animals, and non-chordates, chordates, etc. we are going to study in that also. The organism which possess pore-like structures on the body are maybe marine, living on the land and water, aquatic, are maybe only in marine, and layers in body, that is 2 layers diploblastic, 3 layer triploblastic, which are that, some are identified with segmented structures all over the body, some only few segmented structure, not all over the body, which organism it is. So according to that you have to classify and to study. At the end there are 5 major classification is there, that is species, amphibians, birds, the amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. So this also you have to classify according to their group with the example. When you keep in mind a specific example, it is easy to explain. So in your examination. So these are related diversity in living organism, including this revision I am sending. So already I have sent some of the questions, 1 marks question, multiple choice, 2, 3 diagram. So in this lesson no diagram is there to draw, but you have to identify some of the diagrams according to their parts. Okay, now diversity in living organism, eukaryotic cell. What do you mean by eukaryotic and prokaryotic? We already studied. Prokaryotic, so nucleus without any nuclear envelope, lacking of a nuclear envelope, prokaryotic. Eukaryotic means there is a specific defined nucleus with a nucleus envelope. So that's why they are called eukaryotic. Cell has membrane bound organelles. Membrane bound organelles. The second one, the 5 animal kingdom is identified by a scientist called Robert Hooke. So only few questions is it Robert Hooke? No, it is Robert Whittaker. Who is Robert Hooke? Invented microscope. So here Robert Whittaker is the scientist who invented who introduced the term called animal, five animal kingdom. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, etc. So we are going to study. So already we have studied, now just in the revision. Then, so next comes to an Monera. How they are classified. This is a question. So how we can classify an organism? How we can classify based on the cell, that is a single cell or multi-cell. Based on their food, whether they are preparing their own food, that is autotrophs, whether they are preparing depending upon other for the food like heterotrophs, and then so prokaryotic, eukaryotic cell design, body shape, according to that characteristics. Each organism is having its own characteristics, so that is also helpful in the classification. These are the basic things in a classification of organisms. Now, the third question related. Now we are studying main organisms like kingdom Monera. Monera means single. It is not defined nucleus. Do not have any nucleus, particular nucleus. Which organism? Monera. Bacteria is an example for. Bacteria is an example for dash. Multiple choice question. Monera, Protista, fungi or maybe plantae. Bacteria is a single cell organism, so without nuclear envelope. So this is an example for kingdom Monera. So only bacteria, including bacteria there are many. So like cyanobacteria is an also example for kingdom Monera. What is the specific character? So unicellular in structure. So especially bacteria we can find everywhere. So algae, it's an aquatic organism on the land surface also. The next one, kingdom Monera. Next one, kingdom Protista. Which are the two examples? Euglena and Paramecium is an example for dash Protista. So this is the one. So Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom fungi. So which are the example? A mushroom, Agaricus, Aspergillus. So these are mushroom or Agaricus is an example for fungi or saprophyte. So these are an organism, Protista, fungi, etc. Then, so according to the plants, so plants are divided into, so if the ribbon-like structure, if there is no differentiation of a leaf-like structure, it is not a vein or a midrib, etc. Thallophytes, ribbon-like leaf or a ribbon-like structure. Ribbon-like structure called thallophytes. So main example for thallophytes is, next question, Spirogyra. Spirogyra is an example for dash. Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta or Gymnosperm. Answer is Thallophyta. So this is Spirogyra. So there is one more question in the Spirogyra and Eulothrics. Especially in Spirogyra, a ladder-like structure, two layer and ribbon-like structure, because it is a thallophytes. There is no well-defined leaf surface and nucleus. Chloroplast. So these are the structures. Identify the labeled parts. Identify the labeled parts. First one, second one, and third one. Wall or the cell wall. Then whether it is nucleus or chloroplast. This is well defined. Here it is nucleus, chloroplast. Next one, wall. So these are the structures in Spirogyra. This is a 1 marks question related to the Spirogyra is an thallus in structure. So that is about thallophyta, ribbon-like structure. So examples, Spirogyra, Chara, still is there, all algae. So that is an example for thallophytes. They live inside water, aquatic. Next one, the 8th one question. So related to bryophyte. Dash is called amphibians. Dash is called amphibians of animal kingdom. Whether it is amphibians of plant kingdom. Plant kingdom. So dash is called an amphibians of plant kingdom. Answer is bryophytes. Bryophytes. Why? There is a question. Next answer, 1 marks question. Bryophytes is called amphibians of plant kingdom since it requires water to continue their cycle. Water to lead their life cycle. To continue life cycle. So amphibians means in our mind it will come from, but in the plants also. So bryophytes they are, here it is a bryophytes. Common examples are mosses, Fineria, Polytrichum is an example for bryophytes. There is a question, what is an advantage of bryophytes? So since they give moisture to the plant, especially moisture to the whichever you are using, for example in flower bouquet, if you are using it gives the moisture content, so it will hold the soil. Maybe you have observed the patches around on the surface of the earth, a green mat-like structure it will grow. So it will helpful in the soil erosion. So it will cover, it will grow horizontally and vertically also. It will cover and gives the moisture retention capacity. So that's why mosses also an example for bryophytes. Mosses, Fineria, Polytrichum is an example for bryophytes since they require to continue their life cycle. So they are called the amphibians of the plant. Next one, pteridophytes. What is the speciality? Bryophytes also leaves is like a thallophytes. Here it is a no differentiation. Here it is stem, root, leaf, variation. Where we can observe? We can observe in pteridophytes. 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 Example, fern plants. All fern plants comes under pteridophytes. Since they are in their plant, it is the first terrestrial plant because stem, root, leaf recognition is present in this group. So pteridophytes, thallophytes, bryophytes are called, there is a word very important, cryptogamy. What are cryptogams? Cryptogamy means, so there is a differentiation of, there is a no special reproductive structure, inconspicuous structure, a very inconspicuous structure, that is an spore formation. There is a formation of the spore, so that's why they are called cryptogamy. There is no special reproductive structure. There is an alter in reproductive structure since they produces the spore, male spore and female spore here. So that's why they are called cryptogams. This is a very important question. So dash are called the cryptogams. Bryophytes, pteridophytes and thallophytes are called called cryptogams. The reason is cryptogamy, they produce spores instead of reproductive special organs. Next one. What are called phanerogams? Phanerogams are called the pterido, mainly angiosperm, gymnosperm are called mainly seed-bearing organism. That is are called phanerogams, especially angiosperms and gymnosperm. Gymnosperms are called phanerogams. Phanerogams. So these are the two questions repeated in your question paper. Phanerogams, the seed-bearing plants. Maybe whether it is a naked seed plant or maybe a seed with embryo structure. Here it is an embryo. Inside an embryo, it's a naked embryo where the spore formation. So that's why they are called cryptogams. Now they are called the phanerogams. Angiosperms and gymnosperm. So angiosperm, all flowering plants, majority flowering plants comes under angiosperm. Angiosperms. What do you mean by angiosperm? It is a structure where this fruit is covered with a capsule called angiosperm. Angiosperm again it is divided into two, that is called monocotyledon and dicotyledon. There are two questions related, monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Let us study one by one. So major questions are draw a bacterial cell. So in this and in this lesson. And the next one, major differentiation questions. Write the difference between or differentiate between bryophytes and pteridophytes. This is for 2 marks question, sometimes 3 marks question. No need to draw the diagram, but keep in your mind diagram you must know. For example, I will draw a rough diagram. This is a diagram of Rexia. Next one, polytrichum. So this is a just draft diagram to understand what is called the bryophytes. Next one, it is called pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are upon plants. For example, so these are called the fern plants. Fern plants. So what is the difference? The first difference, these are, so there is no stem, root, leaf, only here it is stem and leaf. Stem and leaf is present, leaf-like structure. So leaf-like structure, it is present here. Here it is, there is a stem, leaf and root is present. Root is present. Second point, commonly called amphibians of plant kingdom. Amphibians of plant kingdom. So these are commonly called ferns. Next one, what are the specific characteristics here? So it will protect the soil. Protect soil from soil erosion. Here, so it is used in ornamental purpose. So pteridophytes are used in ornamental purpose. If it is amphibians of the plant kingdom, it is the first terrestrial plant. First, terrestrial plants. So we can include here also. So and then spore formation. Here also there are spore formation. So since they require water. So since they require water to complete their life cycle, pteridophytes are they grow on land or moist land, etc. So this is a major difference between bryophytes and pteridophytes. After maturation, they will burst open, they will form the spores. The spores will fall to the earth surface and it will cover. So polytrichum, it will grow vertical to the soil surface. It is horizontal, rhexia. So here it is a fern. Like structure for terrestrial plant, and there is no proper reproductive structure, so that's why they are called cryptogamy. Next one, the major group. Write the difference between angiosperms and gymnosperms. So this is also repeated question from your question paper. Gymnosperms. Gymnosperms, angiosperms and gymnosperm. What do you mean by angiosperm? Fruit is covered with, or seed is covered with a fruit or a capsule. You can write here the seed is covered with a capsule. Here, so that's why the name given angiosperm. Angio means capsule, sperma means seed. Here gymnos means naked seed. So that's why seed is not covered with any structure. Seed is not covered. So that is called gymnosperm. The next one. So here flowering plants. Majority all flowering plants comes under angiosperm. Here it is called non-flowering plant. Flowering plants. Both they are called phanerogams. Both are phanerogams since they consist of a specific reproductive structure. The third one, angiosperm is divided into monocotyledon, single cotyledon, monocotyledon and dicotyledon. So two cotyledon is present, so that's why dicotyledon. It is divided into two types, monocotyledon and dicotyledon. But gymnosperm, so these are called coniferous plant. Coniferous plant. The reason is they reproduce through a reproductive structure called cone is a reproductive structure. Cone is a reproductive structure, but here flower is a reproductive structure. Flower is a reproductive structure in angiosperm. Reproductive structure. So these are the main major difference between angiosperm and gymnosperm. Example, all flowering plants you can give example and give rose or maybe a dahlia or maybe any type of plant or maybe jasmine. So these are an example for angiosperm. Here it is a cone bearing. So all the plants, coniferous plants, tuja, Christmas tree, pine, cycas and pinus. So these are the major examples for gymnosperms. Since there doesn't require a high amount of water to grow, so they grow very high. So that's why these are coniferous. Needle-like structures are present. Needle-like leaf is present. Perennial, evergreen, woody plant. So this is. So here this is also, it's not evergreen. Evergreen gymnosperm. Okay, now male cone and female cone is also present. Angiosperm. As I said, monocotyledon and dicotyledon. There will be one question. For example, a student cannot pluck a plant from the earth surface easily. the reason or justify or analyze whether the plant is belongs to monocot or dicot. What do you mean by monocot and dicot? Monocot means, mono means single. So just I'll draw a diagram to understand the topic called monocotyledon and dicotyledon. I'll take the two examples. The first one I'll take a monocot plant, or coconut plant, palm plants comes under monocot or paddy. What are the reasons? So the reason, when you sow the seed on the land, on the earth surface, if the seed, so it consists of a single seed leaf. For example, think this is a paddy. So when you sow the seed under the ground, so there will be a single cotyledon. So that's why they are called monocotyledon, single cotyledon, first seed leaf. So then when it will grow, a single stem will be there. So like a palm tree or maybe paddy, if you observe, a single stem will be there and the root. So here when you observe the root surface, so these are the tufts of root, like a fibrous root. There is no deep root. So that's why they are called monocotyledon. Monocotyledon means single leaflet, monocotyledon, fibrous root. So that is the structure. So that's why easily we can pluck. But if you observe a dicot plant, so if you sow the green gram seed or peanut, etc. So these are the dicot plant. So when you sow the seed, after a few days, there will be a two cotyledon. So that's why they are called dicotyledon. Dicotyledon. And then, so if you observe, the seed will grow above the surface. This is a special character. So in dicotyledon, the seed will grow above the surface, and the root, if you observe, there is a deep root called tap root. Tap root is present in dicotyledon. After that, primary root. For the primary, again secondary. For the secondary, again tertiary root. Primary, secondary, tertiary root is present for plants, especially in dicot plant. So a boy is plucking a plant. It is not easy to pluck the plant from the ground. That is a dicot. The reason, so it consists of a deep root called tap root. But here it is fibrous. For example, grass comes under monocotyledon. So you can pluck easily from the ground, but it cannot. So this is just an indirect question. Two cotyledon dicot. Di means two, mono means single. So this is about your angiosperm. So in angiosperm, what is monocotyledon and dicotyledon? So and then in gymnosperm. So both they are called phanerogams because they consist of a special reproductive structure, specialized reproductive structure. Reproductive structure, that is flower. Here the reproductive structure, it is called comb. So all these comes under, for example, bryophytes, pteridophytes. This is a major question. Write the difference between these groups, or write a note on phanerogams. No need to give the direct name, or write a note on cryptogamy. So all these questions will be there in your examination.